As a CG artist, I realized that at some point in my career, I had to learn photography. And photography for me, and I'm sure for you as well, if you walk on this archivist field as an artist, framing and lighting scenes, you realize that photography is important. And today I had the opportunity to bring a photographer with more than 20 years of experience in this field. Rames is a Mexican, and he used to live in New York. He went to New York to learn and start his career. And today he's one of the best photographers in Mexico when you talk about the fashion. So what you're about to watch now is me with Rames talking about his career, talking about how he see photography and how he actually end up being one of the best photographers in Mexico. So enjoy. So I have Rames here, mate.
Hi.
Thank you.
So great to be here.
Rames is actually my neighbor here on the Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
We met yesterday.
It's great talking already. We have been talking a lot.
Yeah, a lot about architecture, and you are.
I'm a photographer from Mexico, fashion photography and beauty photography.
Nice. And then I want to show you few images. So yesterday I was explaining to you about a little bit about my niche, the archivist. We call archivist architecture visualization.
Oh, okay, that's what it means. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. For example, I have a few images of mine, and I will show you from different studios as well, of different people. But for example, this one, this is a full CGI one. I mean, apart from the background. But what do you see?
What does the picture express to me, or what do I see in terms of like some technical comments, or what would you?
To be honest, what comes to your mind?
Well, this one looks like commercial uh, picture for an architectural company, maybe. Like it could be architecture or it could be interior design.
Mm-hmm.
And it expressed that you want to show the place how it's to live there, like to be in that space that you have that amazing view from the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what tells me about it's like come to live this experience, to live here and look having that amazing view and feel comfortable in this fancy space.
Nice.
So like I mean it's very well achieved that in terms of that it gives already that that
sense.
feeling, that sense about that. So in terms of that, I think is it what it means to me. If you could tell me this is like a picture, like art picture, I would be like, what? Tell me the story behind, because I don't see like what this picture would be artistic. I mean, photography or image are artistic in terms of they have elements, they have color, they have it's a design of an image. But an image can transmit something very specific commercially, or an emotion, or a feeling, or a mix of everything.
Yes.
So I have learned through the years that you can do mixes, but also when you work professionally in a field, you need to understand what's the purpose of the image for. And that's something that it takes a lot of time to understand, because you need to understand the industry, what the image is for, what it's going to be used for, and what you need to, what are you selling.
So in this case, using this blue hour light, and then having this floor lamp here, highlighting this part of the living room. So, do you reckon this is a very commercial image?
Yeah,
Not artistic.
Yeah, to me seems commercial.
Nice.
To me seems commercial, and as I said, like for an apartment, but specific, like to show the the style of living, not really to show the apartment as an architecture picture, because
Because you're not showing everything.
you are not showing everything and you don't see really well the details. Like for example, the wall. I mean, if I can go close, I can see that it could be wood or something like that. Yeah, but I need to like to put attention into that.
Right.
So it's like I said, like depends what the picture is for.
Mm-hmm.
So this is more like a lifestyle picture.
Lifestyle.
That would be that's what I would be saying. That's a
Yeah.
lifestyle picture, and I know because I have done this type of pictures like for hotels or apartments where I kind of give the ambiance of
Mm-hmm.
the place, but then sometimes I need to do another shot on like during daytime to be more specific about some specific details.
Okay. And this, you actually, I think this is a really good opportunity to understand this commercial and artistic type of image, because this is actually the purpose of this image. So I'm selling the 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 apartment. So I'm showing you that you would have this view, and perhaps this is the end of this is at the end of the day, and in there. So I'm not, yeah, that's the thing. I'm not showing everything. So there's the view. So for example, if we go,
What something that I find really interesting about this picture is that I cannot tell if it's a real picture of CGI. That to me is a great achievement because it has the feeling, the textures of something real.
all right,
And to me, that's one of the most important things about talking of the difference of photography, AI or CGI. That if you if 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 the first thing that comes to your brain is like, oh, this is CGI or it's like computer generated by any program or AI, then you already are putting away of a possibility of believing there
oh, I see,
because your brain is like this doesn't exist.
I see.
With a photography or an image that attracts you and you don't see that it's fake, it's like, oh, I would love to live there, live that experience. And I think that's the goal of an image, to transmit what the purpose is for.
Wow, that's great, because this is a really important topic for us on the archives, which is the realistic image. When you CG artists start on archives, you're gonna learn the tools. So you are learning how to create an image, how to press the buttons on 3ds Max, and this is common, and this is what we all do. But then at some point, you start seeing how different artists are. So perhaps there's someone that you follow that which is your reference, and then you see that that artist is doing something different, and you don't understand what is that. And then once you go and understand that, and you talk to that person, you realize that it's not a new tool that he's using, it's not a specific AI that he's using, there's no secret. So one thing that you have to understand is that your eyes, what you consume, what your purpose with the image is the one who will tell you and who will make you go in a certain direction, which is something more commercial or something more cinematic. And I'm talking about light. So light is, to me, is the most important thing that you should learn. Of course, we have photography, how you frame, how you composition, how you. We have a bunch of things, but light, to me, is like on my uh, top five list that an artist should learn. My images, I explore a lot the cinematic light. But then when I'm working in projects for clients, I have to switch and go to the commercial type of light. And once you understand what's the commercial and what's the more artistic cinematic type of light, you understand the range. So to understand this type of light, I invite you to join the workshop that I'm doing with Rames. So Rames is a photographer, and he will bring his eyes from that field, and I will bring my vision from the archivist field. So you're gonna be with me and Rames, and this is such a amazing opportunity because you're gonna be able to ask questions and actually learn about cinematic and commercial light. So on the description here, there's a link. Go there check it out and don't miss this opportunity to learn about light, which is something very important for an artist. In this case, this is a full CGI image. It is more artistic kind of
Yeah,
style.
this one looks more like a painting.
Yes, I
This,
even add the canvas.
yeah, I mean the theme and everything, the composition, is more like a painting from like 1700, something around that era.
Yeah.
And but to me, it's like because it looks like a painting already. You're like,
You put it in another box.
yeah, I'm putting another box.
See, see.
So like to me, this one it doesn't look commercial in terms of like you are not selling this arch or like the building because already looks different. It looks more like a landscape picture with architecture.
Yeah.
So then my question would be like, what is this image for? And depending what is the image for, I would say like it fits in that category. It's well,
Yeah.
it relates well for that purpose or not, because
Yeah.
otherwise it would be like, yeah, it's very nice, the lighting is really nice and the background, but so I think
Yeah, this is
it's always depends on what the purpose
purpose.
the purpose is. Like something could be great for some purpose, but if you put it in another box,
Exactly.
it doesn't fit.
So yeah, for example, here I can explore something way more conceptual, like an architecture with this type of lighting.
This one, for example, this one kind of goes out of normal architectural pictures
Yes.
because it's really much more conceptual, and this one could fit like I could frame it and put it in a wall. I mean,
Yeah.
this goes into crosses spaces, so depends on what's the purpose of
Yes.
also. So here are some of those pictures. That's me in the fashion in Sao Paulo. And these pictures, I took them in less than 60 seconds. And I was getting the models into a specific place where the light was coming from some source of light there. And I was just looking for that specific place. So I was doing this project there in Brazil, taking these portraits of models. Uh, and pictures were taken like really, believe in 15 seconds.
This is not a studio.
No, it's not a studio. I took them like in 15 seconds. Like the models were going out to the show,
Okay.
and they were like passing by a light like here, and I was like, no, move this way, here, stay here, stay here. Like, don't move, yeah, done. Yeah, this one, believe it or not, is in front of the bathrooms because I found out that the best way where like all the models would go, it was to the bathroom. So that light that was coming there in front, it was when they opened the door of the bathroom. So that light was, it was just like for 30 seconds. So they got the
Jesus,
models
man.
there to pose and opening the door for 30 seconds until the other one would get into the bathroom and close it again. And I was taking those pictures in those seconds. So these pictures, I built a portfolio, and I had a newsletter in Mexico that I used to send to my clients, to magazines, different clients. And I this project, I was talking about how I developed the project, my own project that I went to Sao Paulo Fashion Week to develop. So I sent it, and one magazine called me and said like, "We love your project. We're having a top model coming to Mexico, and we would love you to shoot her in that style." That model is Coco Rocha, one of the top models in the world.
Wow. This was a personal project.
This is a personal project, and also they knew, like, because I told them I took the pictures in 60 seconds. It was not that I was going to have 60 seconds with the model, but I had half an hour with the model, including some prep for the makeup and everything. And it, I have like in my camera from the first picture to the last picture, I had 12 minutes. 12 minutes to do pictures for the magazine with I mean, she's a top model, but still it's like 12 minutes. It's so short. So they wanted an style, but they wanted to make sure someone would be able to do something very good in very short time.
Wow.
So, and then after I shot her, they called me back in a couple of months later. They said like, Petron and Koba is coming to Mexico, and we want you to shoot her the same way you did with Coco Rocha. And I was like, this is amazing, because it was one after the other. They were liking what I was doing, creating. But it's, what I said is understanding what they are looking for.
Yes.
What's the expectation, what is about the the
It's
project.
so this is such a nice story because of your personal project. So they so like imagine if you didn't create this 6 second picture, this company they would never reach out you and asking maybe can you
They
do a
they
short
they they
film?
would,
Mm-hmm.
because I was already working with the magazine. The difference is that I was working with the magazine, and they were calling me to do other photography of other celebrities in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking about having someone like a celebrity, international celebrity, they were thinking like, who should we call?
Ah.
And that was the opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean the magazine worked with different photographers. They could have had the opportunity to call other person, and then they thought like, okay, we have been working with Rames, he's very good,
Mm-hmm.
but especially the difference is like he did this personal project that we like the style, and he did it in 60 seconds. So
Okay, now
we have a model for like very short
short
time,
time.
so we cannot take the risk of a photographer that needs a lot of time to
Mm-hmm.
do something good. We did it in a theater in Mexico City, and I was doing in scouting of where I was going to do the shoot,
Mm-hmm.
and I already knew that I had very short time, so I had one assistant with one light, but even not with a tripod. He was carrying the light to be able to move around.
Uh-huh.
So I met her and I started shooting. And here you see all that people behind is her crew from the magazine and everything. So we had behind me like 20 people checking with her things,
Uh-huh.
and here my
Jesus.
assistant is with the light. He's bouncing the light to the wall because I didn't want to have a hard light on her, and I wanted to lit all the space. So he was uh, pointing the light to the wall to bounce the light to have a more soft light
Mm-hmm.
around and the whole space.
And the main light is the one from the window.
And it was a mix because I had main light from the window, so it was very contrasty. And it was a commercial for Johnny Walker. So it was an advertorial magazine, Johnny Walker. So knowing that it was for Johnny Walker cannot be that conceptual because they want to see who's the model and
Wow.
the product.
So that's why he's bouncing because you have the source of light here, and then you if you didn't have this guy here, you'd be dark, the the shadow on
Would
her
be one
face.
side
Mm-hmm.
a bit darker, so I wanted to show. So you can tell here the light from the window. So you see that she was with the
Mm-hmm.
product there, Johnny Walker. So here, this is the natural light. This is not with flash because this is a video. So when you see here from the side, the natural light, it gives some shadows that are not the best to make her look more beautiful, and the
Mm-hmm.
product, because the product was on this side, so I had to compensate the light on the other side with my flash. But because she was moving very fast, because we had like very few minutes, I was telling my assistant, because it's very difficult if the model is moving so fast, because we need to finish quick, to point exactly where I want her, where I want the light. It's
Right.
safer to cover a wider distance with the light,
Mm-hmm.
so it was better the option of bouncing.
It's more listening the whole space and
Yes,
adapting to this.
and in this one, I was using the available light from the theater from the back to get a backlight,
Oh,
because I
this.
I want, yeah, because what I wanted it was to have the cup with the whiskey uh, lit from the back to have the transparency
Nice one.
on the liquid. So I asked her on purpose, like to have the glass in a position that the light from behind would transfer pass
Mm-hmm.
to give me a transparent, delicious color.
Right.
And then I was just filling with a front light to
Mm-hmm.
her.
When you tell about when you talk about your personal project, the one on the 60
Seconds.
seconds, it was telling me that you were actually adapting and using the light. As you say, showing here, you using the bathroom light. So here you already use this your toolbox. So
Yes.
you're using the light that was there already from the stage. So adapting to the scenario.
So just here in the video, you can see the transparency of the glass. It's already a natural light. So I was getting with my flash only a field light because it was only what I needed, just only a field light.
See.
And because I had very few seconds, you can tell here.
Wow,
That
that's cool.
this is more like the shot that I was taking. And she's amazing. She's incredible.
She seems so professional. She knows what how to move.
She's amazing. So here you can see a little bit on the back of the camera. On the
And you had like an afternoon to like
I had a one.
like 3-4 hours.
No, I told you 29 minutes from the
Half an hour.
less than half an hour.
Jesus Christ.
Like all that I did in 25 minutes. Like all those sets, I did 3 sets in 25 minutes. And no, 25 minutes, 12, because she got there and I wanted to meet. I trust already my photography in terms of my skills of taking quick decisions.
Yes.
And I trust in my assistants and I trust in my camera. So to me, I wanted to connect with her in terms, not that she needed to connect because she's super professional, but more in terms of a personal feeling. And I told her like, I'm super excited to take pictures of you because you don't know how many pictures I have seen through my career of you.
Yeah.
And it's an honor for me to take those pictures. So I was talking with her. To me, it was important to make a personal connection with her. So from those 29 minutes, I spent talking with her 6 or
Valuable.
yes,
time.
and another minutes also with the manager, because if the manager is not the manager, but like some people from her crew, they are not ready. Because she's so professional, she wants to have everything in place. Like we had the product and everything. So like from those 29 minutes, like it took me 15 minutes to set up, talk with her. So my shooting time, it was really 12, 15 minutes the most.
And then if I could ask you, what do you reckon that in your career and regarding like your skills and what you have learned, what kind of thing that makes this possible?
When I was living in New York, before going to live to New York, I was shooting for magazines. And my purpose and my goal was to do the best and most amazing lighting for my pictures. And I always had complaints of my crew, makeup artists, people that I took too long. And I didn't mind. I didn't mind because I knew that I want what the result that I wanted. And for that result, I knew that it would take too long. And I did like some very complex shoots. Like one of those shoots, we started in the afternoon, but we end up at 5 in the morning. So, but it was very complex shoot because the lighting, I was using lasers and a projector, and it was very complex, the shoot. So I always knew that I spent way too much time to set up my lights because that was my style that I was building. I was being recognized, and that's what I wanted to create. But then when I moved to New York, I went to New York and started working for model agencies to do pictures for the models. It was not a campaign, it was not a magazine, it was for the models. So I was very excited because I was shooting very beautiful models from New York. But uh, in the first shoots that I did, my producer told me like, people are already complaining that you are taking too long time. And I was like, yeah, man, but it's looking amazing. And I was like, you don't need to make it looking amazing. You want to do a picture that the model looks very good, but you are not shooting a magazine. You need her to look good, and you need to do this quick because they have a specific time, and everybody here works in a very specific pace, different than Mexico. And my producer told me something that in that moment I felt like, ah, but that comment that gave me changed a lot in my photography. He told me, trust in your lighting. You already are very good in lighting. It doesn't need to be perfect in the beginning. Make something that looks okay. You know that it's gonna get better, but make something that looks okay so you can start, but make it quick. If you have that quick, a good start, then the crew and the model, they're gonna be like, okay, we are in rhythm. And then you can start adding a little bit more of time to set up the light for the next ones. So I was like, okay, this might work. I was not very happy because to me, I always try to do my best from the beginning. But sometimes the best is not the best. Sometimes the best is to find um, a line.
See.
And that line was to be quicker. Better than be with the nicest light, it was to be quicker. And then I translated to another shoot, not because I needed to finish quick, but because I understood that having the model in a better mood or like excited sometimes is more important than the light or more important than something else, or because it's gonna start raining or the sun in the beach is gonna go down. You need to be quick. So I started to learning to flow in different spaces of time.
I see.
Like either to take 4 hours to set up a light, or like for example, I do, as I was telling you, I specialize in doing the hair campaigns in Mexico. I'm the best hair photographer in Mexico, and I compete with photographers from London, New York, that
Hair.
hair, because hair is so special, and I use like around 12 lights to light the campaign. So, and this is, I think, one of the most important things that you need to learn, that it's when you take too long time and when you do it very quick. And you need to have those both skills. Sometimes it's not because you want, but sometimes it's because of weather. Sometimes there are some other reasons that are the reason that you need to. So this one is a hair campaign. She's an actress from Mexico. Also, like working with celebrities is very different because you need to adapt also like to their time and to their mood, and it's something that you need to balance.
Social skills. She's so pretty. So beautiful. You're always smiling, man.
Yeah, that's what I do.
They're looking to you.
Yeah, I don't show much of my lights, but I had like 12 lights around, and I have a data assistant. I had 3 camera assistants, and as I said, I took around 7 hours to set up my light for this shoot to be able to have everything in place for the day, because as a celebrity they don't want to,
She wouldn't come back.
or it's so expensive,
Yeah.
so they would come back.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there's some. You see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just in this side is 5 lamps. This is what I have learned through the years, that
Yes. That's
time is relative, and the amount of time that you spend in something is not gonna mean that it's good or bad. It depends on what's the purpose of. So yeah,
That's so-
it's
that's
been
so
a very
good.
interesting conversation.
no. That's, you know what. This is so interesting because I bring a lot element called the sketches for on my workflow, and especially with the workshop, as I was telling you. And sketches are about ideas. So you moving quickly. It's like your 60 project, second project. It's like you have no, all the time that you have is short, and you're gonna use these to explore lighting and composition. And because in our field here, we are always dealing with 6K image and 300 DPI, and to print and to be very high resolution. So within the time, the artists, they become very technical, and they lost to this artistic and
This is part of the
playful.
that's part of the balance, and
See.
this is what I was talking about. I was very technical,
See.
I was super technical in the beginning because that was my goal, but I understood that depends on what you're doing. It's a mix.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mix, and also like I see a lot of technical photographers. They go too much into the camera, the megapixels, and that, but they forget the essence of the image. And I believe it has first to express and to feel the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
If you have those, then you have like way
Mm-hmm.
behind the basic things that you need because you kind of focus on the result that you want, but putting the elements in the percentage that you need. It's also like when I do the photo shoots for a specific client or magazine or campaign, sometimes it's me as a photographer that I have the chance to play with my lights and to do a lot of things, colors. And sometimes it's very simple, my work in terms of lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Another times it's the work of the makeup artist that needs to show more.
See.
And other times it's the interaction with the model. So it's a balance, and you need to understand when is the moment. It's not, as I said, it's not better to do the most. It's the balance that you need
Mm-hmm.
to get for the result that you
Mm-hmm.
want to achieve.
So you have the possibility to go very fast and more with your intuition, uh, but you have in the other side, in the other hand, you have all the technical knowledge that you learn when you start, and then you start choosing and mixing this. Right? It's not like 100% technical, 100% artistic, and intuition is a mix.
Yeah, it's like Picasso. Picasso, in the beginning, his paintings or his drawings were very formal in terms of anatomics and everything,
Mm-hmm.
more classical, and he ended up being simplifying everything to a point. That's how he ended up in Cubism because he started like more as a classic painter. Like
See.
his first paintings were like more real or anatomic in proportions, and then he wanted to translate that on how I can do with just one line or few lines volume. So
Mm-hmm.
he ended up putting his own perspective. Like that's how Cubism is. It's like having two sides of an image, two different perspectives in a single image.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his own interpretation. But to be able to go to simplicity, he went to the other part because, and this is something that not many people do because it requires a lot of effort to learn the good base.
Mm-hmm.
And if you learn a good base, then you can simplify
Wow,
because you
yeah.
can go in a range. You can decide where you want to stop, what you want to use, what tool you want to use. People that don't go into the base, they kind of like, oh, I just got this result, and they feel happy for that, but then they don't have that range to play with, and they cannot, if circumstances change, they cannot go to something else,
Mm-hmm.
or they just stay there in that style. As yesterday we were talking about, you recognize some photographers for their style that is kept in the 90s or 80s,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't evolve. And I mean, you don't need to do it if you don't want.
See.
It could be also your signature, that
See.
specific style. But it's different to have a specific style that you want to develop, or when you don't know how to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
Yes.
It's like, as well as I was telling you, like in the beginning I started with natural lighting because it was what I had. I mean, I had a camera and the light,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so into getting to understand like so many different types of lighting techniques and different lamps and everything, and I spent years in working with that. And later I wanted to get back to natural light and understanding, but in another perspective,
Mm-hmm.
being able
Simplifying as well.
simplifying, but not simplifying, but also at the same time using the lights that I learned to use before. Like for example, here we have from the sky
Mm-hmm.
some filling light that is the main light here, but we have this yellow and this other yellow like
Mm-hmm.
lamps on the side that gives you some nice colors here on the side and everything. I'm already seeing that,
See.
and that's something that it's here. But if we were in this other direction, it would change a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that the art is about to learning to understand how to use it. And sometimes it's not just what you have available exactly that you can shift it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can have like a little reflector here just to change.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
this is more um, about how you observe things, is how you interpret them. But if you have a wider range of perspective and knowledge, then you can play more and develop a specific style,
Mm-hmm.
or have different possibilities to do things. And I think that's in everything. Like, it's not in photography. I mean, in painting,
Mm-hmm.
if you have the skills to be able to paint in different ways, with oil, with
Watercolor.
watercolor, then you can express yourself in different ways. So, how would be
Your
for,
range is like growing, so you can. Oh, that's so crazy! It's so. This is a really nice conversation. Like, and we didn't planning that. Like, it was just like
yeah,
while
like for example,
talking.
like here, like if I move to this side,
Mm-hmm.
like that light is not getting to me, but just
Yes,
like by moving a little bit here, you see it's coming here to my,
in front. Yeah,
yeah. So,
the light
so well,
behind.
I wanted to ask you, like, what would be for you in terms of working digitally with different programs? What would be some similar perspective about having a wider range?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would be something some people would be limited, and what would be something that you would say, if you learn that, what gives you, what's the difference that brings you?
To be honest, I think when CG artists they start learning, they start with on in this field. They go deep on the technical tools, and this is the way, of course, that you want to understand. For example, hey, when I'm setting up this light here, uh, I want to understand the kelvins and literally the lighting that I'm using, because in software you have different lights. There's a plane or a sphere or different. This is very technical. But then I think when you start going and searching and using as a reference uh, photography, cinema, art, even fashion, playing with other, like playing in learning from different fields. So you start building como se fala repertório em inglês? Repertório?
Repertoire.
Repertório. So I like to play with this thing, your toolbox. So you have a toolbox, and then you start like buying new tools, right? And then at some point you have to explore and you have to try things by yourself. So I can use a reference to create an image. But if I'm only using reference to create an image, um, I'm not actually trying and getting good surprises on along the way, because I need this overcast sky with this tone of blue from the reference, and then okay, I can get there, and to get there you need your technique and the tools. This is important, of course. But then what about if you swap and then you add more, I don't know, if you add a full black sky and using this artificial light and this subject. So you wouldn't never know if you don't try. So that's what I reckon that CG artists in this case from my field, um, a good thing for them is exploring. So you grab a project, grab like on the software, and you start trying light, exploring light, as if you literally have a camera on your hand, right? And then you start like going around, playing with the lenses, without worrying too much about the numbers, because in this case for architecture, it's like a photography architecture. So you're not using 12 lenses because it's distorting everything. So we starting getting rules and rules and rules, but then you become a robot, right? So then people might be wondering like, oh, but I work somewhere and then I have no freedom. And what I do and what I've been doing since I start this field is doing personal projects as your 60-second project, and these brought me opportunities. So I went abroad. So I went to the UK because I was posting my own project, showing my how where I can go, my range, which perhaps is a bit different from the commercial images, right? And as you say, it's so great because we're so connected in this way. Um, it's not it's a mix. So I'm using a subject which is architecture, but perhaps I'm framing there as if it was a frame from a film, as you talk about the restaurant. So even the aspect ratio. So usually we in the on the archives we use full HD because this is the commercial aspect ratio. But why can I not go with 2.35 really wide? You can, right? So you can do this. So personal project for me is really important because you start developing your own signature as you say as you did. So how can I know if I can jump this wall if I don't try? And then if I try, I can I get better on this, and perhaps I try something different to jump, and I start develop my own style, and people will hunt you because of your own style. So it's so like connected, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
And yeah, we're so connected that we are living here in Brazil, like traveling,
Yeah.
traveling different parts of the world and doing what we like to do
Yeah.
because we understand how to manage commercial work with personal projects.
Yes.
This is something that's what I do the personal projects because I have learned that that's a way to explore new ways of doing projects with more freedom. Because if you just stay in what is always like the most common thing to do, you stay in that box.
Yes.
You need to explore and you need to put the effort into it because you need to develop it, and sometimes it works, some other times it doesn't work, but
Yeah.
it's the only way to you can develop it. It's an experiment, and experiments is what also brings you to understand different ways of doing things, because if you do it the same way always, you're gonna get always the same result. So
Wow, mate. That's a really good conversation.
yeah, so it's a pleasure
Thank you for
talking
that.
with you.
Gracias.
Obrigado.
So this is Rames. So I put down on the description his website, his Instagram. If they want to chat with you,
Yeah,
like I can.
I'll be very happy and to continue having these amazing conversations with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, gracias. Nice,
Gracias,
very
amigo.
nice.
Ciao.